Hello everyone, my name is Ray and welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. Guess what? I'm going to build another lathe. Yeah, big surprise there. I've got the bearings. I've got both bearings, believe me, but they are heavy to get off the shelf. I've got the spindle. Yeah, believe it or not, this is an actual spindle. And I got the gearbox. What a tiny gearbox, you say? I agree, but we're going to use it anyway. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you to help me to help you build this lathe. So what does that mean? That means that no matter what, I've got the parts, I'm going to be building another lathe, plain and simple. But I am going to put this up as a community project. And what I'd like is for you to input any of your design ideas, whether you've built a lathe before or not, whether you have crazy ideas, whether you think this should be some kind of steampunk adventure. It doesn't matter. What I want to see is ideas that you might have, whether you're a beginner or an expert, and we're going to, as a community, pick and choose which details, the frame details, the overall design, what it's going to look like, etc., and turn this into a project that we can all experience from. I built machines before. This will be number 4. Number 4, technically the 5th lathe I've built, if you include the little glass lathe. So it is not a big deal for me to build another lathe, but I want to make sure that we do this together. That way everybody learns from the experience. Let's take a closer look at these parts. Okay, this is one of 2 bearings. As you can see, these are huge. They are about 14.5 inches. The casting itself is 14.5 inches long. These are 100 millimeter bearings. By 100 millimeters, you can see this is how big these bearings are. This is going to be a big lathe. It's going to have a lot of force on it. Why? Well, we'll get to that a little bit later. This is the spindle. Now, normally we're used to threaded spindles. For example, my last lathe, my big blue lathe, is 1.5 inch 8. This is a metalworking lathe. It was actually a CNC metalworking lathe spindle that I picked up off of eBay for very, very little. It was a great deal. This, instead of having a threaded spindle, it has got a different type of spindle. It's called a D18. And you can see these holes right in here are for cam locks. If I put the key in, you'll see inside there, you see how those are cams. Well, that's one of the ways that metalworking lathes hold on to chucks and faceplates. This is actually 26 inches long, and this part of the spindle is 9 inches in diameter. So I don't think it can get any more heavy duty than this. Here's the gearbox. It's a pretty nice size gearbox. It's got a 74:1 ratio. It's designed for a 2 horsepower motor, and it'll produce just a hair under 7,000 inch-pounds of torque. 7,000 inch-pounds of torque is a ton of torque. I will never need that much torque, but it's better to have more than less. Well, the reason I got this gearbox is that it was a surplus industrial item that I got for $100. Believe it or not, this is a $5,000 gearbox, and I picked it up for $100. So I said, well, you know what? It's going to be a little bit slow, but we'll make up for it with the chain drive. But it's got way more torque than I'll ever need. Right here, this is the input shaft, which is about 3/4. The output shaft is 1 3/4. A big output shaft. This is a big box. We'll never damage it. It'll outlast the lathe that we're going to build it. Now let's go find out why I got to do this anyway. So by now you guys are thinking, what is wrong with this guy? Is he crazy? What's going on with all this? It's so big. Why build such a big lathe? The reality is that I don't have to build this lathe. I need to build this lathe. I have been wanting to build a lathe of this scale for some time now. I have had these bearings in my possession for over 6 years. I've had this spindle in my possession for about 3 years, and I just picked this gearbox up last month. So I have been wanting to do this for some time. The purpose of the lathe will be to basically have live tooling on it and to act as a roughing lathe to move a lot of material very quickly on big pieces of wood. So I'm going to knock up a notch the scale of the work that I do. And this lathe is going to help me do that. If for nothing else, it'll be an excellent roughing lathe with live tooling. So I look forward to working on this project with all of you. I look forward to reading your comments and suggestions and implementing the best ones. Now, I don't care how crazy your ideas are. If it falls outside the realm of possibilities, I'm just going to ignore it. But if it's something that is possible, I will take every comment and suggestion seriously and weed out the best ones, and we will be implementing this. We will be implementing those suggestions into this lathe build. I look forward to it. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.